Hey.
Got it.
This meeting is being live streamed. So guess what, people? We're back, and so is Jamie.
Hello.
He's been in a little hiatus, but now he's back in the podcasting land.
Trying with hay fever.
With hay fever.
I've not been out last night. Honestly, I've just got hay fever.
But
I used to look like this though back in the day.
To be honest with you, I still ain't shifted this cold, like this cough and stuff. It's still going. I usually shrug things off.
Maybe a week.
No. You know what I am? I'm robust, but this is really kicking my ass.
Not as robust as your cold,
mate. It is really kicking my ass. It's unbelievable.
To be fair, I could talk, mate. I've been knocked out by plant sex this week. So I can't even breathe properly.
Right, let's get the old chat going up. Good evening, Sam and Jamie from Paul Cook. Imagine being the first person in it. We've got 10 people in now. Blessed. Right, so this week, actually, before we do that, I've got some interesting stuff to talk about, right?
Here we go. It's a bit boring.
No, it's not. So I've had to fit a few fuse boards last week. Domestic fuse boards. It's been a while. And so...
This plug is seamless. Well done.
So, I've ordered a load of these because they are special, right? And I'll tell you why. Because most people don't care about the brand of fuse board that they have in their house. They don't really care. They'll let you put whatever they want in as long as it don't cost £2,000 more than it should do. So, I had to fit a BG board this week because they'd already bought it, right? Oh my God. Mate, I couldn't even use a proper screwdriver. I had to use a big flathead to get it torqued up. Like, honestly, they are so pony. And the grabbers in the top of the RCBOs, absolutely pony. You couldn't tighten them up enough to stop it from pulling out. It was a nightmare fitting that. And that's why I say Verso fuse boards, you don't have any of these problems. They are just like, you put them in, you've got enough space to work, everything fits in nice, the bar's not all flimsy, so when you put the front on, it's not like a big screwdriver session trying to get everything clicked into place to try and get it to sit nicely. It is actually, like, genuinely, they are easier to fit than the other fuse boards I've been fitting this week. They are the business. That's my plug out of the way.
I'm going to do one. I'm just the double stacks that I've been banging about it for ages, and now I've got other stuff on like this. Hang on, I'll show you. Because I want to get the Verso fuse board, a double stack one, to fit my shit in. Unfortunately, I've got this thing here. Hang on while I give myself a hernia. Oh, pull my headphones out. I'm back. For audio viewers, I'm lifting up a massive solar invert that feels like it's made out of pure lead. Look at that.
Whoa.
Who wants to fit these all day long? Fair play to the solar boys. I got this much work in there. You
get paid that big dollar for fitting them, though, didn't you?
I think you get paid by the weight, mate. When it come, I thought I was going to break my legs.
Right. So what were we going to talk about this week, Jamie? Oh, no, you've got some news. Oh, no, we've got some news. So I had a bit of a Twitter spat.
I'm still out of the loop, mate. Fill me in.
So I had a bit of a Twitter spat this week. Did you put it on the thing or not?
No, because the graphics computer's shonky. So for audio viewers, you're winning this week.
Rubbish. Right. So on Twitter, last couple of weeks I've been talking about the cult of EV. Right.
Cool. Did you say
the cult of EV? Is
right,
what
just checking.
Right. Because there's like this attitude with EV people that, like, they can do no wrong, and they've got this real virtuous stupidity about them. And this is what topped it off. Tom Callow, EV, I think he's EV expert.
He's My Energy EV expert, I think he is.
Yeah. So, and it's trademarked. He's actually trademarked that name.
What, his name?
EV expert.
Oh, right. Of course, yes. Everyone else, you just suckers.
Right. This is how far it's gone. Anyone gone electric for their barbecue? Setting fire to a load of charcoal just doesn't seem quite right anymore.
Actually, I've been electric on my barbecue for a number of years. I've got this thing called an oven. so I'm already very green. Okay.
Ninja Woodfire Smoker looks pretty interesting. But it's also pretty tiny. Any others might actually stand a chance of delivering barbecue flavour.
I saw this on Twitter, right? and I'm going to say what I say every week. Yeah, I'm just a realist. I'm just a normal person, right? I've got people. I'll go on Twitter and argue with EV, battery, renewables people and stuff, just because I want to get into it. I want to discuss it. Yeah, and they'll go, "Oh, what do you like doing? Burning coal." I'm like, mate, I've got a battery outside. I've got a solar inverter. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm doing my best, but I'm a realist. When I saw you in this spat with this guy about the barbecue, I got thinking. So the smallest electric barbecue you can get is 2 kilowatts. How many kilowatts are in 1 kilo of charcoal?
I haven't got a clue.
7 kilowatts of energy in the charcoal. Yeah. So it's not really that bad. You can have a barbecue. Just enjoy your life. You're going to die soon. Also,
mate, go on.
Well, I'm not being funny, but I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the EV people, yeah, but I am hating on the freaks at each end of everything and just ruin it for everyone, yeah? Where's your tyres coming from? Where's the metal coming from? Where's all the plastic coming from? People are trying. You don't have to make people feel bad because they've had a barbecue that weren't 100% renewable. It's just bonkers. It's like
100%.
People just spoil it. Sam's now leaving. I'm assuming a seagull's attacking his child or something, carrying her off. Oh, no, he's back. Costume change it was. But, it's bonkers, mate. It's like everyone, I don't generally think there's anyone that wants to be like burning oil outside, but there's some people that are so far up it like, oh, mate, just think about your tyres on your car. Your car's not that renewable. It's not that green. Just driving. If you want to be green, don't drive.
It's just so pathetic. I mean, who in the hell worries about having a barbecue now? Like, that shouldn't be a thing. So what? You go, oh, you're right, mate. Like, say you're his friends. Do you want to come out for a barbecue? Well, I will, but on the proviso you don't use charcoal.
Every EV driver now has got to buy 14 acres of land so that if their car catches fire, or should I say when it catches fire, they can plant the trees to do the carbon offset. And then we can burn that in 20 years' time and we can all have a barbecue.
And charcoal's just bloody burnt wood anyway, isn't it?
It's wood burnt in low oxygen. What's amusing is what counts as renewable. So I used to work at a renewable power station. We used to burn cows, 40 cows an hour we used to burn.
What?
That's classed as renewable. We used to burn meat, bone meal, 40 cows worth an hour, just burning it. That's
this
renewable.
What I'm saying. It's such a fallacy. It's such a fallacy, and I'm so sick of this. The cult of EV is just so much. It's
the cult of renewable, mate.
Chill out.
The cult of renewable. It's like the batteries. We don't make batteries in this country. Do you know why? We don't make batteries.
Go on.
Because it's so difficult to make them in a manner that doesn't wreck the environment. You've only got to look on the internet at China and the amount of pollution, cancer towns, bad water they've got.
Yeah.
Because they've got uncontrolled battery production, and there's no way anyone in the world that are trying to be eco-friendly can create batteries because they are so dirty to make.
Do you know what makes me laugh about that? You say that to them and they go, oh, well, the batteries that we use, they are sourced from
unicorns.
From dolphins. They bring them up on their heads for us.
It's like with the rubbish. Oh, my council reckon they recycle 100% of the rubbish. It's because they send it abroad. Like greenwashing.
I know.
I love eco stuff. I'm really into it. I like it. I think we should all use less energy, but I can't stand greenwashing. And when you get challenged, when you are the no, they go, actually, what about your tyres? They're not eco, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. There's always some excuse. If someone or some company could just be honest and go, yeah, look, we've been as green as we can be, I'd be like, yeah, mate, sweet. That's cool. Like, I'll roll with that. Just being as green as I can be. I have the occasional barbecue.
But imagine being that type of a bellend where you have to go on Twitter to ask about, to sort of show that you're so about that life that you won't even have a barbecue with charcoal.
I always say, this might be an age-related one. Do you remember Swampy, the eco warrior that dug tunnels under the thing, right?
Yeah, and sat up in a tree for 3
you know,
weeks.
this Just Stop Oil lot, right? They're mainly bellends, right? But you know that Swampy geezer who dug a tunnel under the A34 and lived there? I know for a fact he lives in a shack in the middle of nowhere and he goes like scrounging around tips and grows all his own food and that. I'm 100% behind that guy because he's practicing what he preaches.
Yeah,
100%.
he's living it.
He's living it, yeah, he's doing it. If someone comes in and goes, oh, actually, I think you'll find most fertilizers are damaging nitrogen and all that, then actually use fertilizer, fuck off, yeah? If you're actually rolling what you preach, like that swampy geezer, he's got in 100%. I will back him up to the hill. He deserves to be able to dig himself under a road. But if you come on here moaning about your barbecue, but then you're smoking 8 sets of tires on your EV or producing things made out of plastic, then you know what I mean? I don't mind if people just want to be realistic about it. Everyone will get behind him. It seems.
I am fully sick of it. I've got to be honest with you. I'm fully sick of this cult of EV and Twitter's murder for it. Well, Twitter's murder for both ends of the scale.
Everything. Twitter's murder for everything. Yeah. Like, the problem, it just cater for normal people trying to do normal things. You know what motivates most normal people?
Go on.
Money. So you can save money and it's clean. Great. I'll have a bash. I'll invest. That's what most people want to hear. If you invest in this technology, you'll save a bit of money. You're a bit more reliable. You're doing a bit for the environment. It's not 100% green, but we're having a bash. Yeah, great. I'm well into that.
The other thing that really is an under talked about thing is most people ain't got the money to invest into EV or into renewables right now. Like people fucking shopping at Aldi and Lidl to try and save money.
Whoa. There's nothing wrong with Lidl.
Do you know what I mean? Like going having a shop in Primark rather than Marks and Spencer's to get by.
It's
all that sort of shit that we're doing at the moment to get by, and people are sort of. Like, I'm driving around in a 15-year-old diesel RAV4. I ain't about to upgrade that to a 35 grand Nissan Leaf or something.
Unfortunately, mate, it's always the same. If you've got a bit of money or you've got a bit of land, you can save or make money. But the people that are generally doing the grind haven't got a facility. I mean, I live in a terraced house with extension at the end. I could barely fit a battery in my garden where I want it because I don't put my loft. I'm not a dickhead. My solar's going in the wall outside because my roof was put up by people who look like Fred Dibney. You know what I mean? So like I've had to cater around that, and all this gear I bought. It's quite solar gear is actually quite cheap. Batteries are expensive. Solar gear is actually quite cheap.
Yeah, it is.
The thing I've got going off, I'm not getting bummed by a scaffolder, which is the expensive bit. But
yeah, exactly. You're right.
Just let's do a shout, yeah. You know, if you're green, you've got a green company, and you're doing green shit. Go online and say we're trying to be as green as we can be and want to take you all along for the ride. But don't come on mocking people for having a barbecue.
It's mental. It's just mental. It's that divvy way of carrying on. Right, what's next?
I don't know, where are we? I'm a bit out of touch because I've been off.
We haven't really got news. That was just something I wanted to cover this.
It's bank holiday. We don't really do news on bank holidays. It's more chilled out. We'll have a look at the chat. You ever knows the chat?
Let's have a look in the chat. Right, who's in here? Right, we've got Play Shadow.
That sounds like a sexy name.
Yeah,
you've got that on various other websites, haven't you, mate? Come on, admit
Play Shadow. Don't pass the babysitter test. Probably a nice guy.
He's got a massive bowl full of car keys at every party he does.
Yeah. Richard Cockeline, Azuri Electrical, Sean the Spark, Daniel Dalzell. Welcome, Mr. Blatant.
Martin 64 UK has noticed that I do have a BT Robin instrument behind me. Very nice. Yeah, I had to buy the case separately, but it's a full set. It doesn't work though. Sorry, it's just for the look. I don't light it.
Oh,
thanks for spotting that.
Sad. Silver Fox, James Kane, Martin 64 UK, Leeds. Hey up, lads. Well, that sounds like Mark, doesn't it? Or the other one who don't pass the babysitter test. Now then.
Well, we are the Holly and Phil, aren't we, of Electrical World?
We're what?
We're the Holly and Phil of Electrical World.
So you're Phil then?
Well, you've always got a 12-year-old, ain't you? Scotch.
No, this one ain't.
Probably younger, but that's what's going for. Anyway, let's talk about that better.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I've got something that annoyed me this week as well. I was listening to another. What I won't call it a podcast because it ain't really. It's a radio show, Fixed Radio, the electrical show or some shit with old Paul Meenan. Mate,
it's Thomas Nagy's show. Let's be fair.
Mate, he's so out of touch with the way things are. Mate,
let's not pretend this isn't set up. You made me listen to it, didn't you? Let's admit it.
I did. No, listen.
You made me listen to it, right?
Listen.
What I will say is I've still got a man crush on his other co-host. So Nagy does it with another guy. Someone will put it in the comments in a minute. The other guy is brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic. I've got loads of time for him. I'd listen to him on the show.
Then you got Paul comes on and he's like, he said this one thing that wound me up, right? I've employed thousands and thousands of subcontractor electricians in my time, and I do a spot check.
Oh, was
And
this resistance and impedance?
Yeah, what's the difference between resistance and impedance? And when their arse falls out because they don't know, I give them an opportunity to learn. And if they don't want to learn, I'll pump them. And I'm like, mate, that's not. Can they do the job?
I admit, right, if you were new to the trade, you listened to that, you could possibly think Paul Meenan was a massive asshole. It didn't come across well. He spoke on that podcast like people knew was his background. And I do. I've got a lot of time for the E5 crew, if I'm honest.
I ain't.
Oh, yeah, because they filled a gap that was there. There was no one doing that, and it needs someone. And he does come out with a lot of good stuff. He said about the fact that we ain't got a trade, anyone running the trade. But I do agree that on that podcast, he come across quite badly if you didn't have any previous on him.
It was just so dumb. And then what else?
I Googled straight away. Straight up. What do you think I Googled straight away?
Difference between resistance and impedance?
Yeah, because I deal with anyone that follows my Instagram will know I deal with a lot of audio stuff, and the impedance kind of thing we're talking about there is that's what I've got in my head is speaker impedance and stuff. And
Isn't that like noise on the line or something?
Oh mate, I'm not going to get into it because audio is a fucking pain in the arse. But I had to Google it in Electricians. I was like, when I read it, I was like,
and you're an engineer.
Exactly, but I work on what I'm doing. But when I Googled it, I actually sat there and thought, to pull that stunt on someone on a contracting site is ballandering because it's not relevant. Like, if you're bending pipe, putting in tray, you don't give a shit. And why would you?
No.
I don't want someone bending tray going, oh, I've fucked this 25mm pipe up again that's cost £8. But you know what I know? The difference between resistance and impedance.
And then he's cutting off people like myself. Oh yeah, just go on the Nextdoor app and work for cash in hand. And I'm like,
obviously paying tax, aren't you? Allegedly.
Listen, what's wrong with doing that? What's wrong with using every possible way of getting a job?
No, it's not. It's not. The thing is as well, right, is you've got to accept that this. I accept this. If anyone says I think some bullshit, tell me, right? I accept all the trade needs all sorts of people. As you'll know, the reason I'm on social media now is because I got thrown out the Sparky Ninja group because I like a bit of swearing. They don't want to accept electricians that swear in their group, which is fine. But I'll accept anyone. I know for a fact that quite highbrow electrical engineers listen to this podcast. And also we attract bottom feeders. And I'm happy to deal with that entire range because if I want a hole digging, the top electrical engineer's got to do it from there. Everyone's got the little niche, but to say, if you don't know the difference between impedance and resistance, it was a bit of Ballandry, to be honest.
It just wound me up. I listened to it today and I was like, you're a div, mate.
I thought we didn't listen to other people's podcasts.
Huh?
I thought we didn't listen to other people's podcasts.
It's a long story. It's a long story. But yeah, it got my goat. It got my goat a little bit.
I like Paul. I think he does a lot of industry, and they've done a lot of industry safe stuff.
I can't hear this. So
you need to accept that. You need to do what I'm doing. Just accept there's a massive range of us. I don't want to fall out of anyone. There's a lot of range.
Really?
Range of us. Well,
since when have you become Switzerland?
I don't fall out of people. I just hear my view. If I think someone's been a dick, I'll tell him. But if I slag off James Valentine's business courses,
what is your catchphrase? Beanbag face. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap.
Well, yeah, but if you can't handle your product, I'm not going to go there because we've covered this. We've finished with that. But what I'm saying is, just because I coat off someone's thing or give me an opinion on something, doesn't mean if I bump into someone at a trade show, I'm going to hate on him. Like you're a dick. It's professional discussion, isn't it? It's professional.
Well, it just wound me up, and I'm a little bit touchy today because I'm just tired, mate. This brings me on.
It's like the usual, mate. Like the business courses, like anyone that's offering business courses, just fucking get in the sea. Yeah, get in the fucking sea. But if I see those people at a trade show or we meet in the street, I'm not going to start shouting at them.
No one's going to do that. We're all grown ups now.
But yeah, but I will say, like we said, it came across badly. But knowing what Paul's off the trade and the way he's acting and the way he's,
listen,
you can't set your stall out like everyone knows you. Is that fair?
I think. Listen, moving on swiftly. I am tired this week because I had a really good week last week in terms of my new little venture into working for myself. We're in week 4 now.
I'm not going to be rude. Why you tell us I'm going to chat?
What is he doing?
I just had a look at the chat while you carried on.
Oh
Sorry.
no. So so we're in week 4 now, and it's going really well. No, week 4 was last week, and absolutely knocking it out of the park. But mate, the one thing I realised, I love working for myself. I love working on my own as well. But it's so intense sometimes because you give yourself a 4-hour window, and really you don't know if it's going to take 4 hours or not. You just hope it does. Like, I had to do a fuse board change in 4 hours in a pub.
Yeah.
That was not easy.
Working the pub, why? Because you're nicking all the spirits.
Yeah, I was just necking them. But the fuse board was like, you can imagine what the pub's like.
Pubs, I said to you, Ramble, didn't you? Pubs, farms, and other Sparky's asses, all shitholes. From start to finish, all shitholes.
Well, I went in there to fix some fans, right? They've got 3 fans in there. Their electricity bill's off the charts with the AC, so they wanted me to get the fans to work so as it blows the air around. Anyway, I was like, I need to see the fuse board. Went behind the fruit machine, and at low level, there's a fuse board, but all it is a DIN rail screwed to a bit of wood with the breakers put on it, and then the buzz bar underneath with a load of tape wrapped around it, and then wrapped all round the top of it.
There's meant to be a picture of this. It's on Twitter, isn't it? But I couldn't get the graphics computer to work. So
honestly,
it's
the most insane thing I've ever seen. And it's like literally, I don't know, a foot off the floor. So any kid could just go behind there.
So we all know the last big death happened in a pub as well. See what David Tabor video.
But see, I don't necessarily believe that people. Right, let me rephrase this. People do die from electrocution. It happens every year.
Yeah.
Right? It's not as common as some people might make out either, right? It's not that common.
I don't know the stats, but yeah, I would agree, yeah.
However, when you've got something that dangerous at that level, I didn't want to be that guy that hyped it up, like like when you go to
scaring the customer. You don't want to scare them. You just want to give them, this is genuine advice. I'm not trying to scare you. It's different.
This is what I said. I said, listen, honestly, that's really, really one of the worst things I've ever seen in all my time as an electrician, in terms of the potential for to kill someone. Because if there's no RCD protection, it was just MCBs on a DIN rail with a main switch. You got no chance, none. If you're a kid and you touch that buzz bar, you got no chance. Fried, done.
And the problem is in this country. I had a Nigerian guy on a course with me. He says not a lot of people die of electric shock in Nigeria because they're brought up not to touch stuff because they know it's dangerous. Whereas in this country, people are brought up to touch everything. Oh, shiny copper. Oh,
but I said to him, listen, if you can't afford to get this done, it's not good. I said, listen, I'll work with you to get it done, but you need to do it quickly. All right, you might have been here 10 years and no one's ever done it, but now the clock is ticking now, and let's just get it done. And to be honest with you, I've done them a right deal just to get it done, and that's not because. Well, and also, I did a right deal so as it makes me look good, and I've now got more work there coming up. So sometimes it's good to do that. But yeah, that was one of the worst things I've seen.
If we're going to be really boring on that subject, I used to, when I was teaching, I used to say, there's a thing, I don't know if you're familiar with it, anyone knows it, it's called root cause analysis. So every time something goes wrong, you analyse it and you find out what the root cause was, yeah? So if anyone can remember years and years ago, I was only younger, but I've read up on it, there's an oil rig called Piper Alpha, and it blew up and basically killed everyone on board. People were jumping to the sea from like 200 meters and all sorts of mad shit. And the root cause was a bit of paper was in the wrong tray. But you've got to remember that I always say to people on jobs, oh, well, no one's hurt themselves yet. Well, no one died on Piper Alpha for 30 years. Then when he went wrong, virtually everyone died. So you can't do that. Oh, it's been all right. It's been all right. It's been all right. It's always, as you say, it's always ticking. Where the clock stops,
eventually it's going to happen, isn't it? Eventually
the clock's always ticking. No one knows what's time's left. And then bosh, someone gets it. It's not how it works.
I got there at 6 and I had to be done, power on, by 10:30, right? Mate, honestly, I was sitting on the floor, cross-legged, I had to extend all of the ring, all of the every single thing had to be extended. I had to rejig the whole cupboard, the whole lot.
Yeah,
it was a nightmare. It was so intense and so hard that when I finished, my legs were shaking. Like I was walking to the car, like I was drunk.
There's nothing puts pressure on people like time. No, we've got to be open at 11 o'clock. Get it sorted out. You're like, great.
Then I had to go to another job down in Whitstable, and then another job back in Broadstairs. And if you know, that's like 40 minutes each way, and it's just a really busy week. And then I ended up working. I'm in a group. A group I started for local subcontractors around here. Anyway, this guy messaged me about helping him wire a kitchen. He just put it in a group, and he was paying decent money. And I was like, "She really don't have much on tomorrow," so I went and did it. Really, really good guy. Inspired Electrical. So shout out to Inspired Electrical. He's a good egg, that one. But what I thought was really interesting, and what I know you think is really interesting, is the Shelly gear.
Sorry, I just swallowed then. Yes, and that's what we're going to go on to.
Because he does a lot of smart stuff, and Shelly do all kinds of a range for smart things. They're basically like, you can get the DIN rail ones as well, can't you?
I'll give you the spiel like I'm sponsored, yeah, which I'm not. This is all completely off the thing. So let's go right back. I'll tell you why we're doing this pod. I was at my work summer ball on Wednesday, and people were asking me about the energy usage, yeah. So many moons ago, before I got my battery, before I got solar, before I started messing around, electricity prices going up, and I didn't have a smart meter. And I'm like, I used to have a little like, you know, them in-home displays where you click the thing on, it shows you in your living room, yeah, dead basic. I was like, there's got to be something better so I can monitor my electricity. Ideally, it would appear on my phone. And I'm looking around, right, and I looked, and there's tons of solutions. And then suddenly I came across this firm called Scheller. So I'll just show you one. A lot of the things look like this. Yeah, they're just little boxes, tiny little boxes like that. It's about the size of 4 stamps. This grey one is called the Shelly EM, the energy monitor. They do another one now called the Shelly Pro 3 EM and the 3 EM, right? And what these do is, this particular one that's tiny comes with these. Can you get with these CTs? I'm going to focus it, yeah? I'm holding a CT up that's got a pencil-sized hole in it. That's the 50 amp one. I'll just put this out for everyone to know now, yeah? The 50 amp one will not fit around a mains tail. It will hold a pencil. If you want to do it a mains tail, you need to buy the 120 amp one. So don't say I didn't warn you. What these do is, these can measure, you put a voltage to them, a reference voltage, and this particular one can have 2 CTs.
Explain reference voltage.
The voltage, because to work out the current, the wattage, pickles in vinegar. It's got to know the voltage, it's got to know the current. So you give it the voltage, the CT measures the current, and it gives you the power, the costings, the money stuff, yeah?
Well, so how does it do that?
It does it with maths, which I
No, but like, how does it know what you're being charged per unit?
A CT, which I'm holding up now, yeah, it can detect whether current's going that way.
No, I know that. But,
right, okay, going both ways.
How does it know what your unit?
It doesn't. I'm getting onto this. It's right. I've probably missed a bit. Data. Without data, you are nothing. Yeah, you are no one.
Yeah.
So if I go, I'm going to buy a battery. Sam's going to get a battery. Ain't got one. What size battery are you going to get? Say it's £1,000 a kilowatt. What size battery are you going to go and buy?
Probably 6.
Why?
Because I could afford that. I can't afford.
But right. So what if you're only using 3 kilowatts a day? You've just wasted £3,000. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So first thing I want to do when I went on a renewable money saving journey is, first of all, in my house, can I just save any money? Well, I don't know, because most smart meters and in-home displays are shite. Yeah. This Shelly gives data to your phone. You can see all the screenshots online, and it'll tell you. It's not a brilliant meter. Behind me on my shoulder there, you'll see there's a Fluke 43S. That's a power meter that can measure per second. Shellys aren't capable of measuring per second, but they'll measure throughout the day. So I can look at my app now, and I can tell you today I've used 9 kilowatts. I've got a 10 kilowatt battery, and I size that battery.
9 kilowatts. What have you been doing today, bro?
Washing.
Yeah, that.
So I have used this. So I bought one of these. These are about 80 quid. And I had it on for about a month, and I realised that I was using between 8 and 12 kilowatts a day. So when I bought a battery, I bought a 10 kilowatt one. And this has been happily monitoring my battery since. And now I'm getting solar. I'm going to use it for the same thing to monitor what my solar does.
Yeah, but how, like, so right, it measures that. How does it tell you how it's saving you money if it don't know the units, how much you pay per unit?
Stop worrying about units because units change every year. A kilowatt, a kilowatt's always been a kilowatt, yeah? It's not changing anytime soon. The amount you pay for electricity changes every year. So I've got a real block nose, so I'm struggling, right? What I did was we got one of these fitted and we carried on like we was normally doing. And we got 2 weeks of data. And then I got to my missus, right, every night for the next week, only put the washing machine on at night on delay start because I've got economy 7. We saved about 2 kilowatts a day because I can see it happening, which makes me want to save it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it gives you the data so you can adapt your life.
Without data, I'll say something again, you are nothing. So my mate will give him a weird made up name, like, I don't know, Raphael, because that's his name. He's got a zappy on his wall, so I time to get a zappy. He's got some solar. And I says, mate, I guarantee you are pissing your electricity away. He gets paid to generate it on the old feeding scheme, yeah?
Yeah, but on them Solax things, I've got the app here. It tells you what you're burning and when you're burning it.
Right. You know your smart meter in your ass, it will tell you how much you're exporting. It won't tell you how much you've given away that day in kilowatts because they don't want you to know.
No,
they want
idiot.
You to know
I'm talking about the app, the Solax app. I've got it right here. Solax Power, something cloud. Anyway, so
is that the solar inverter? Yeah.
Yeah. So
how much did that cost your dad to have installed?
Yeah, but he's got it anyway, isn't he?
Yes, but if you haven't got it, these are only 80 quid.
Oh, so what you're saying is you can have it in the house anyway.
How big do I want my solar to be? How big do I want my battery? How much does my washing machine cost? How much does my lighting cost?
Oh,
this will tell you for 80 quid. You are working with unknowns. When you get one of these, you are working with those. So I know now that at night after 6 o'clock, I use 4 kilowatts or whatever. I cannot express. It's almost like I'm paid to sell these, which I'm not. Get one of these, put it in your own house if you're a sparker. And once you know how to utilize that data, you can fit these to people's houses. Then when they go, how big a battery do I need? You go, find out how much electricity to use. The in-home displays won't tell you how much you've exported in total that day because the lecky board do not want you to know. Because if you know how much you was giving away, you would stop. So
but what is the difference between that and the one you plug in?
This stores all its data on your phone so you can look back over it for the past 365 days.
Oh, yeah, no, the ones that you plug in, they just tell you there and then.
Tell you there and then. So you can do lots. Again, data's power. So my mate Ralph, he's got a zappy. I told him to get a zappy. He's got solar on the old feeding tariff. And he went, I get paid to generate. And I was like, well, think about getting a battery. He's like, I'm not spending $4 grand on a battery. I was like, well, think about how you use electricity then. And I kept telling him to get one of these Shellys, yeah. The other week I went round there. He finally relented after I'd been putting Instagram videos when he bought one. And I went and fitted it for him. 4 hours later, he rings me. I've given away 3 kilowatts today. I feel sick. Like, because 3 kilowatts, how much? 3 kilowatts at 35p a kilowatt. How much did it cost him? So 3 kilowatts at 35p a kilowatt. How much did it cost him?
Don't know.
Let's say it's 20p a kilowatt. 3 kilowatts. How much is that?
60p.
Wrong. It's £1.20 because you have to buy it back.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So he now religiously, boringly, he'll like text me and go, my missus is using the kettle. He now makes sure his car's plugged in and he's set his zappy up to match whatever the solar produces. It matches it from the grid and puts in his car. He's saving 12 quid a day.
So
but that's money. That is wedge. And without the data, you've got no.
Right. So say you've got. So my parents, right? They're retired, and the reason they got solar and a battery was to sort of avert the costs of paying these silly bills every month.
Yeah.
Like one of them goes, the other one's going to lose like the money from that one being alive and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're sort of future proofing for when one of them goes, basically, right? Now, there must be a way that you could use a Shelly to sort of use that data to save people like that money over a long term.
If you can see what you are doing, like if you have left your light on, you can turn it off, can't you? Because you can see the light is on. You can't see what else. So this lets you see electricity for a bargain basement price. Just on the flip, they also do this one. This red one is called a 1 p.m. And on the back of it, it's a thing called an add-on. And that connects to these temperature sensors. So I put one of these on my flow temperature on my boiler, my return temperature, and the outside temperature. And I realised my boiler was just too high. And I turned it down, and my gas has gone down by £5 a week for a £70 investment. So when you can see it, when you've got data, you can do something about it. And if any Sparky gets one of these and fits in their own house and gets used to it, that's great. You might learn some, you might not. But if you put these in customers' houses, which are a great sale, you could absolutely mop it up because they'll fucking love it because they can just go, I don't need that now. I just do a washer at night. I just do this and change how I work, I live.
So what? So if you wanted to pitch that to someone, what you'd have to do is they would have to have some sort of on peak, off peak rate, wouldn't they? Is that how?
That's the bare bones of it. They've got to have off peak. If you want to use your washing at night, you've got to be off peak. But what I think is the selling point for me is you just go on someone's ass and you're spouting all this shit here. And they don't. The customer says you going blah 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 blah. My consultations that I do now for quite big firms, that is, you buy one of these and fit it, and I'll fit it for you. Then I'll come back in a month and I'll show you on that data how you can save money. I sound like James Valentine now, don't I? You know what I mean? I'm not sponsored, no sponsors there. I'm just saying you can show them things rather than you just going talking shit. Oh, solar renewables, battery, all that. You can say, look, if you bought all that electricity at night,
but for the average person, they ain't going to do nothing apart from tell them what they're using.
You know what they're going to do? Turn the lights off, charge the car better, use the washing machine in the night, because they'll be able to see exactly where the electricity is being wasted. And that's the first thing I did. I would have spent £4,000 more on my battery, but because I had that for a month, I jiggled around what I was doing, and I saved enough to go down to 10 kilowatts, not 15.
Interesting.
But I'm just saying, right, all this technical stuff coming along, I don't like Dave Savers says, I'm not doing EV charging more because they're out of old bollocks, yeah? Because they're all different manufacturers, you don't have to worry about it. This is a dead simple way to make you as an electrician look smart. And also we do loads of other cool stuff, switches and all sorts, motor switching and all things. They don't rely on an app. One says it. If they go bankrupt tomorrow, this has got a web browser and you can log into it as it is. So don't worry about that. It's a dead good way of you could put one of these in the box and put it in someone's house for a month and show them what they're doing. So I just think they're really good. And loads of people ask me about them. Loads of people interrogate me about one. I just want to put it out there. I'm not selling them, but I think they're a really powerful tool for electricians.
Do you know what? It just occurred to me that you see someone like Octopus, they should give electricians referral codes.
They do that. You can get referral codes. They do that. You can have a referral code to get on. Also, Octopus have brought out a very similar device. It's called the Home Mini. It goes onto it plugs in your Wi-Fi in your house.
Did you see this?
And it gets all the data off your smart meter. And guess who it sends it to?
Go on.
Octopus. And guess what they give you? Not a lot. Whereas with this, you get to see everything. And just an example, like I say, these are 80 quid. That meter behind me there, that's a Fluke 43S. That's my first ever power quality monitor. That was $4,000.
Yeah.
And now it does it a bit faster. But one of these, I just can't get over the other. What I'll do is on my Twitter and the Instagram tomorrow after the show's finished, I'll just put some screenshots of the app. You can log it on your phone. You can log it on your PC. You can get hour by hour readings. And if you want to be a Sparky, if you want to keep ahead of the game, this is the kind of thing you need to be utilising as just a little bit of data to show people.
I think it's a really good thing what you said. I think if you had something, it's Craig Lewis is in the house. Their data is not always accurate. Oh, he's coating you off, Jamie.
What on
their data is not always accurate, and Jamie's a bit of
no, he's on about smart meters because he's right. Because why would so? Here's another good one. Just off the cuff on this one, yeah. I found out the other day because we love a good conspiracy on the show. You know, when I get my solar up,
yeah,
based on my mass off this Shelley and the stuff Mark's done for me, telling me how many kilowatts I'm going to go, I will be giving some electricity away. So I was like, right, I'll go on Octopus Agile and I'll give the electricity to them and they'll give me a very low rate for it, but then I can use it on my gas. They said you can't give it to us unless you're MCS registered. And I was like, why? Is the fucking electricity different if I'm not MCS registered on solar? So I'll be able to see how much I'm giving away with this, and then I'll be able to do the maths and work out if it's worth me having a bigger battery. But my smart meter won't tell me that, because do you think Octopus want me to stop giving them free electricity? Of course they don't. Otherwise, they tell me how much I'm giving them a day, which they don't do.
I think this is a really it's a good little opportunity. I don't think it's like ever going to change anyone's lives, but if electricians sort of consulted a little bit more, got like quite knowledgeable like yourself on how to save people money through their electricity bill, I think like using things like that, you like having an affiliate to Octopus where it's in your interest to get them to switch over to it and stuff like that and become an expert in it. I think that's a really useful service that electricians can provide, and actually make a little bit of coin out of it.
These ones are for that. So these two aren't for my house. I'm going to put these in adapt boxes and put leads out and a plug, and I'm going to leave these at people's houses to monitor temperature and stuff. That's what I'm doing with it. But what the main thing to get across is, like I say, the fluke behind me. I've had one for years. This is not new technology. This has been around for years. I've been doing web-based things for 15 years before the even internet was a thing. What I'm saying is 80 quid. It's fucking insane. Stuff that done that before is thousands, and now it's 80 quid. So if you are on that, if you do find customers looking at you going out like going, oh, I need a battery this big, this is available to you. I'm not flogging it. I just passed on what I know. What I've learned over the past 12 months, basically, with them.
It's decent. So, yeah. It's actually quite, listen, we're turning into a cult of EV. Oh, yeah, it's go renewable. No, what it is, we're realistic about it. People need to save money on these stupid electric bills, and there is ways to do that.
The first protocol for anyone who wants to go green is, how can I just save money by changing what I do?
Yes.
Don't go and spend loads of money on solar and loads of money on batteries and think you're going to make it, because if you're spending £5,000 more on a 5 kilowatt battery because you're using 20 kilowatts in your house, but you could naturally reduce that to 15, you're £5 better off, and it's more eco, because no one wants fucking 25 kilos of batteries outside their house when they're wasting it running the fucking hot tub 24/7 like Mark Allison is. But that's a different story.
Yeah. So could you put so I could put solar panels on my roof.
Yeah.
But I can't sell it back to the grid or to Octopus without it being MCS certified.
As I said, based on the maths, because I can do maths because I've got some data, I think that in the day I'll give some back, about 3 kilowatts. So I could just give it back and say, yeah, whatever. You can't come off grid. We'll do a different podcast on that, but no one's coming off grid with batteries, right? It's just not happening. No. You need the grid. So if I give 3 kilowatts down, they give me 15p for it. That might get me 5 gas units. And then you think, well, actually, that because I can't create gas. I'm not drilling my garden up. So I think, well, if I have more panels and I sell more electricity back, then the gas sort of starts becoming free. But I need to do the maths anyway. I found out of Mark that you can't sell the electricity to Octopus unless your installation's MCS approved, because MCS approved electricity is better than normal electricity. So I don't know what there's. I'm going to challenge it with Octopus. We'll probably do a podcast on it in the future, but you can't sell it to them unless you're MCS approved, which is bollocks, basically.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. One of the theatres I know.
Yeah, I'll check any questions.
Started using them to monitor their heating use. They have 4 thermostats in the venue, and they all talk to each other. Yeah, there's a lot of good comments coming here. The energy companies will change to the time of use of tariffs in the future. I think so. I think so. Where Octopus is cleaning up the market, isn't they? They're really.
Do you know why they're cleaning up? Do you know what Octopus are? Octopus and Amazon. What have they got in common? What's their number one product?
Is it like efficiency?
Data. So Amazon don't actually make that much money out of selling you shit. They make it off Amazon Web Services, provide data services. If you want to know how many women in Kent buy tampons on a Tuesday, Amazon will tell you. That they make the money off data. They then say to people, if you want to advertise this particular thing, advertise it on this day. If they want to know when boy racers buy flashing wheel nuts, they say advertise on a Thursday, you'll get more money. Octopus gather data and then work out what people are going to use and then buy the electricity when it's cheap and sell it. The data companies.
When I was 18, I was that guy who had the
Max Power
dust
magazine.
caps, the LED
They
dust
glow
caps. The LED dust caps.
I just
That's
picked the
what
most obscure things I can think of there, but they know Amazon can predict when you're going to buy a frying pan.
And I had LED jets, washer jets.
Did you have a CD auto change in your boot?
Yes, I did. I had and you press the button and the face comes off, and I had the little remote control that went on my
That
steering.
went on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Mate, you must have got so much bus stop minge. It must be unbelievable.
Mate, honestly. So, and we used to have a CD made up, right? And it was called Bad Tapes 1. Yeah.
Banging Tunes Volume 6.
Yeah. No, but it had that entry music. So if you was going to a petrol garage, you put it on a certain track, and as you the bass would drop as you get in.
Did you have a bass bin? Did you have a bass bin in the bonnet?
Yeah.
Oh, with neon lights in it, UV light in it.
I didn't have a UV light, no, but it was a Fiat Uno Fire 1.1. It was buoyed up, lowered, had a Pico exhaust on the back.
Did you have one of them exhausts that went in the back there, like clamps on, that gives you a really big exhaust, but in fact it's just a bit of scaffolding?
No. It was a legit Pico exhaust.
Just drive past now. But yeah, that's what I want to get across.
I've got some bell end out there.
Who's got one? Did you plan for a drive past now? Yeah, if anyone's got in the chat, let us know. But that's just what I want to get across, because anyone that asks me now, I'm probably going to clip that out of the podcast and put it up as a separate video, because everyone knows that when I like something, I'll bum it, and I'm absolutely bumming these. Totally. They're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And I just want to share the wealth so everyone knows, because it's not a
listen,
secret.
mate, it is handy. And I mean, what I have realised about, I'll keep bringing it back to this because it was such an amazing week last week, working for yourself. There is so many things that you need to be aware of to make it profitable. It's not necessarily the work itself.
Hang on, is this a business course?
No, it's not. Like, the work itself is not particularly challenging in terms of, like, it's just problem solving. Like, I've got to get a socket outside. Where's the easiest way to get outside and stuff like that? How am I going to get it? Those sort of things. Like, when you've been doing it long enough, you know how to get around them things. But the hardest thing is quoting and measuring your time, how long things are going to take. I suppose that comes with, and then it's the add-ons, so the things that you can add on and give more value. And that's one of the things that I think, if it was applied correctly, you could add value to certain customers and they'll really appreciate it and they'll make a good name for yourself.
They're just data again. You're on about how do you price data, or as some people call it, experience. It's just data, isn't it? And that'll tell you. Some shock jockeys mentioned there about Loop. So Loop was the original smart meter I had that talked to my phone, and then they just went shit, which is what got me on Shelly. But yeah, Loop was a good one in the back in the day.
Well, what else you got?
Well, I've got nothing. That's it. I've had 3 weeks off and I've come back with nothing.
Hey, what else was I going to talk about? I can't even remember now. I could talk more about the stuff I got up to last week, which was just, I know it bores the piss out.
But no, what's interesting is that you're doing something. So, like, you've got your niche, because I lose track of how many times I say to these people in this trade, going back to the thing earlier about the Thomas Nagy podcast, he's connected this year. He's going, can't get no good people.
Did that wound me up as well?
Have you trained any? Have you trained any? And now there's that many shit sparks knocking around. If you're just a reasonable spark and you go knocking on asses, you can make good cash.
Right, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about the subby trade that divs like him need to get into their brain, yeah? It is a soulless, very difficult environment to thrive in. And what happens is people get beat down over time. I tried, so when I really started putting an effort into being a subby, really taking pride in my work, really showing up all guns blazing, like bench, chop saw, the whole lot, I turned up all guns blazing, right? Even that wasn't good enough for a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? You still only had to do one thing wrong before you was a shithead and stuff like that. Like, it's a soulless, thankless environment that's very hard to thrive in unless you bum someone and get to the next level.
Do you know what he did say on that podcast? That was good. He said, quote Thomas Nagy, unless I give him the quote, yeah. He said, the more you know, the more you earn. And someone told me that 23 years ago, and I've made a career out of it. And I've done all right for myself.
And with that soulless environment where things are so shit and oppressive, they want people to come on site and be like, "Hi guys, I'm going to work really hard for you, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to be this guy, so as I don't lose my job. Well, who wants people like that to work for them? Like, why would you want to put someone in that sort of mindset and that sort of pressure to work for you? No, you don't do that. And they're subbies. You can't treat subbies like they're your employees. I think it's a piss take.
That's what we do though. But like you said, I mean, if we'd have said, if 12, when did I start this podcast about 12 months ago with you? If I had said 12 months ago, you'll be ass bashing, you'd told me to fuck off, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would have.
And if you'd have said to me, you'll be employed, and literally, I said to, I was at the do the other day, yeah, and I said to someone, and I never thought to say this, yeah, if you cut me in half now like a stick of rock, I've got my firm's name written through the middle of me, I'll bend over backwards for them because they're just fucking brutal people. And it's like 12 months ago, look how things have changed. I would never thought I'd be employed, you never thought you'd be asked, but you just worked out that if you just go there and be good at it, you can earn some good cash.
Yeah.
You're not earning because you're shit. You're not doing well because you're shit. You live in a small place, really. Word gets round, and it gets round either one way or the other, doesn't it?
So for me, there's a couple of guiding principles I've been working by, right?
Turn up on time. Turn up on time.
Turn up on time. And if you can't turn up on time, communicate. Make sure that you stick to your word for people, because people really count on you turning up. People really count, like they'll change their whole day.
They've took a day off work.
Yeah,
Dog's gone to the vets. Don't fucking can't make it because fuck off.
No, yeah, exactly. And I'm starting to get repeat customers now, which is nice. That's really nice. Yeah. I haven't really got much booked in next week, but again,
that's the mess, though, isn't it? Like
you can't. No one goes,
my light's going to catch fire next week. Can you come and change it for me? That's
exactly
that's the nature of the game.
What was I going to say about that though? I forget what I was going to say. My brain is addled.
I'll do the flip of that, mate. In the games I used to work in when I had my own firm, you're saying like I ain't got much booked in next week, but like I say, people's lights break, the shower birds, and that stuff comes up. Yeah, I'll be working with people like, yeah, we've got a job booked in 9 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you sat there waiting for it to start, you could be doing nothing that week. But you got to remember, 9 months.
I've only been going 4 weeks, really. So this is the 5th week now. Just got my t-shirts done and all that. We're like trying to put as much back as I can.
I think that's important for new tools.
Huh?
I think branding in domestic is very important. Looking like you know what you're doing.
Yes, that's the most important thing. Turning up, looking sweet is the best thing you can do. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you've got to turn up and like in bibs and
tuxedo.
Like, but if you turn up with your t-shirt, your technician shorts, like I wear shorts. We're at the coast. It's summer. I'm wearing shorts, and I wear. I've actually got trainers for work, like black pair of trainers.
Yeah. I think it's a long way. As everyone knows, as I said before, I wear bib and brace, yeah, because when you're doing a very technical job, and you tell me bib and brace, people are like, he must know what he's doing. Otherwise, he would not wear that shit. Yeah, it's like look at me. I'm wearing dungarees. I know, but yeah, in domestic, you've got to be branded. You've got to have your company's name on it. You've got to not like the good old days where you could turn up in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. You're like you're going out gear. You've got to
you can't do that. And like I wouldn't turn up to someone's house in a pair of jogging bottoms either.
I wouldn't be seen dead in a pair of jogging bottoms. To be honest, I wouldn't wear them full stop. They are the clothes of the tramp. Around your ass, but if you leave the house in a pair of jogging bottoms,
no, I do all the time. I wear tracksuits all the time.
Goodbye. Jogging bottoms.
Listen, I wear tracksuits. I wear trainers that match my tracksuits.
Show suit
all kinds of stuff.
Got a show suit. Branded show suit.
I am legitimately a chav. Yeah, full. But what's more comfortable in a tracksuit?
It's not about comfort. Tracksuits, man. What if you fall in some water? You're going to drown, mate. Them things weigh about 10 ton when they're wet.
Bro, who thinks like that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But are you going to start a YouTube channel and do domestic stuff on there, or is it just are you going to do it?
Yeah. Do you not feel like working for yourself is no good? For example, you get a kitchen and can be done in half the time. Trouble is finding someone that wants to make the commitment. No, not really. So here's the thing. I do things to cover my own ass. Like, I'll price the kitchen this week, and she wants to go ahead with it, and I'll price it in 2 halves. The first half is the first fix, and then I come back and do, and then she pays me, and then she comes back and does the second
Brilliant,
fix.
because I just got into it. That's a brilliant way to do it. Because what if the kitchen fit don't turn up? You're hanging on, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm not waiting about.
Savvy move, like it.
And it's things like that that you have to sort of like. And what I also do is I don't play. Like I will go and do them shitty little jobs, and I do them with a smile on my face, changing a light fitting, moving a socket 3 inches over there, because that, like, before you know it, you go and do a couple of £50 jobs in a day, 2-3 of them. All of a sudden, that's £150 you've earned before you've even started.
No one wants them, even then. No one wants them, and I was like, when it was just after the disease that I won't name, because I was getting back on my feet because I've been working that, and I started to dig around the van. I was doing that around here, but I was doing like oh, I need an earth bonding doing. I need a lampshade refurbishing or something like that. I was fucking like, Jesus Christ, a lot was going off.
Mate, there's a lady around the corner, Moira. She's a lovely lady, and she's a bit eccentric, and she had all these massive chandeliers that got broken in the move.
Sex party.
Probably. And no, I put them all back together, and I fixed them all the bits off of Amazon. She was more than happy to pay me £50 an hour to fix them.
What we are going to do, I'm interested in is, you're on a high at the minute. We've been here before, haven't we? We've been here before when you got a job. You liked it, but it didn't work for you, yeah?
I'm terrified.
I'm interested to see, we'll definitely do a podcast in 3 months about how you finding getting paid and all that kind of stuff. Because that's
I don't play with that. I don't play.
You just straight up.
This is how it is. Out. I go, like, even I worked for a builder the other week, and I was like, mate, this is how I work. There's no 30 days, none of that. I'm cash or bank transfer upon completion. If you want the invoice, give me the details now, and that invoice will be with you before I walk off the job. It's that simple. If that's for you, I'm happy to crack on.
I'll tell you what, mate. I got when I did bits and bobs, when I was just transitioning between COVID and didn't know what to do myself because I was just having some time off. I doing the bits and bobs around there. I was like, my mate's guy I work with at a power station, his missus started doing cleaning. And he introduced me to the fact you get these machines, can't you sum up? There's loads of them, but there's one called Sum Up, and I've got a Sum Up machine, so I've got a credit card machine. It's like, all right, so you pay, I think it's like 1% or something, whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? So I was like, well, if we're going to go around people's asses, I'll get one of them. So I got this Sum Up machine. I think I had the PayPal one first, to be honest, but I could take cards. Where I live, it's quite opulent. Yeah, I'm not rich, but I live in a rich area in a shit house, right?
Yeah.
They go around someone's house, like a couple of beamers on the drive, like gravel. Butler's raking it, yeah. Need this earth bonding thing doing, blah, blah, blah. Go in there, do it. Right, so 80 quid. Oh, I don't have any cash. Can you pop back tomorrow?
No.
Don't worry, I've got a card machine. And they're looking like that going, motherfucker. I'm like, you've got a card, haven't you? Because you've not got cash, no card. And they're looking like you fucking, they're looking at you like, they don't want to pay you. Like, why do you want me to come back? Is it a power move? You want me to come back and get it?
Yeah, because that's the bullshit. That's 20 minutes. Oh yeah, I'll come back. But now the price is I don't know, 105.
If someone's got an RCD trip in, go around there, crack the lid off, do the tests, got something wrong, go around and plug some stuff, find out there's a dodgy fucking food mixer or something, plug it all back in, do a test, little test on the food mixer, prove it's that. Right, this is faulty. That's why your RCD trip in. Say that takes me an hour and I charge them 80 quid. Oh, can you pop back tomorrow? Well, it's going to cost me as much time to pop back tomorrow as it is if you just So I'll pop back tomorrow for double. It's 160 tomorrow or 80
exactly.
And some people go, oh, fucking tradesmen, you've got to be ruthless because they rely on you'll forget. And if you've got 8 jobs on a week, 10 jobs a week, you will forget every now and again. They're playing the gamble game. They're going to try you out. And they can fuck off.
See, my thing as well is, and it drives me insane. I had a job the other day, and it was literally to turn one socket into 2. She didn't want a load of chasing out, like she didn't want it chased out because she just had her house decorated. I was like, sweet.
Oh, hang on. How many people get electricians in? Oh, but I've just had my house decorated. Well, just so those people know, yeah, you're a fucking dick.
But all I've done was I bought one of them ones into 2. They just screw straight over.
Yeah, well, if that's what they want.
They're a little bit fatter. She was over the moon with it. But it took me about, I don't know, 4 minutes to put in. Isolate, boom, 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 screwed on, turn back on. She's like, oh, is that still £50? And I was like, yeah,
Cheeky
because I
bastard.
had to travel to go and buy it, and then I had to travel here, and then I've done it. It might have only took 4 minutes, but you know, I've still had to go and get the stuff.
I have this.
Yeah.
I used to do fire alarm protection, yeah, and we used to do fryers. So we used to, you know, the extinguishers and spray loads of water on it. We do them, and I worked out like these fryers were all the same. So what I did was to get the panel and knock all the knockouts out and put the grommets in and put a bit of flex in it, do loads of prep. Then one day I went to a job. It's like they got 4 days of that because they're mechanical guys. They're there for 4 days, and we had the same amount of time as them. And I rang them on 6 days. Yeah, it's all done. Tested a lot. Why didn't it so quickly? Well, because that's how I make money.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that's what took you 6 days. Because, oh yeah, but I've realised now that I can make these boxes up. I can take one of the things that saved me thousands of hours of time when I worked myself was we used to build control panels as big as fucking like double garages. I used to go in the office and unpack all the things out the cardboard boxes, get rid of the cardboard. Saved me thousands of pounds. So prep is a long way. And he went, well, you can't be done already. It's like, well, I am. Well, we're not paying you for 4 days. Well, you're not paying me for 4 days anyway. You're paying me for a job. You're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for a fixed price for a service I'm going to provide you. I'm like, oh, can't you do it cheaper? I should be there 4 days. I was sat in front of the fucking TV doing it. What? It just pisses me off.
Yeah, I just don't
Like,
pay. And if I get
payable.
If I get the smallest inkling that they're I just reiterate it. And if I'm always polite about it, I'm like, just so as you know, it's cash on completion or bank transfer, whatever's easiest for you. If that works for you, I can do it Tuesday.
It's a price for a job.
And you just got to be like that. What I've stopped doing is telling, like, if someone wants me to come around to do something on their house, I don't tell them I'm £50 an hour anymore, unless it's little jobs. Jobs that you've got to have that little bit of leverage in there. So I don't tell them that when I'm doing big jobs, not because I'm trying to shice to them. It's just
not every job's the same, is it? You can't fix it.
Because if you've booked 4 hours for it, there's still 4 hours you need to fill.
Yeah,
you've gone and done it, and then you might only be there 3 hours. I can't take £50 off because I'm trying to fill my day.
You price the job on an amount of time, and then you offer that as a price to them. If you're there till 6 o'clock because it's fucking like a plaster, you take a hit
extra.
Yeah, and I remember doing this once. I organised a price show. I was at Farnborough Airport with a firm called Good Mountain Hairstyles. I'll name them because they shafted me on this, yeah. And we put all this buzz bar trunking up, hundreds of meters buzz bar trunking. So to go down there, drill and tap a beam, put the buzz bar trunking up, then hang the lights up. And I got to put this apprentice, and the lights had what they call, you know, the IC, you know, the kettle leads. What the old kit, well, plug together with.
Yeah,
they had those plugs on, but then the buzz bar had a different plug on for this buzz bar. So I said this apprentice goes, I'll give you more money than you're due. I can't breathe. I'll give you some of my money, yeah, if you fucking graft, and I want you to run along the cherry picker and put all the lights on the floor ready. And then on the Saturday afternoon, sat in front of the telly at home, I made all the cables up. And then when I got there, we fucking smashed this whole hanger in about 2 days instead of 4. And they come down and goes, no, we're not paying you for fucking 4 days. We did it in 2. I was like, well, hang on. I was sat at home making release on Saturday, you cheeky bastards. Oh, no, people will get upset. Well, but we agreed a price, and it's the worst thing ever. When you agree a price, time is finished.
Exactly.
There is no time.
Exactly.
Time is irrelevant. If you knock the wall out and all the fucking plaster falls off, and you've got to make that good, then that's your problem, isn't it? You've got to suck it up buttercup.
And the other thing that's I've found that's really, really important, van stock.
Yeah.
Just having them bits on board has made my life so much easier this week. Now, what I will say, you know, like I'm riding high at the moment and stuff like that. I am terrified because there's a lot riding on this. Not being successful, I can always go back subbing if there's work out there, and I could travel back to Croydon and get a job and stuff like that.
You don't want them, do you?
No, but it is terrifying because there's so much at stake, and I really want it to work. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that
we're going to review it though. We're going to review it in a few months and see how you are getting on.
That geezer I worked with last week, Inspired Electrical, spends a small fortune on marketing. I literally don't. I don't spend any money.
Yeah, word of mouth is the best form of marketing.
Well,
Don't get me wrong,
no,
I'm not
do you know
knocking
what
all
it is?
marketing. I'm not knocking
Do you know what
but
it is? Amanda, my wife, Amanda, and her Facebook groups.
she's your marketing department, basically.
Mate, she just once a week she goes through, I don't know, 20 Facebook groups, just puts an ad on there, and then she'll reply to anyone who goes, oh, is there an electrician in Herne Bay that she'll reply directly to them. That's it.
Well, we'll
That's
review it if
working.
you want. I'll chat as well, over here.
Go on, mate.
Azuri Electrical says get some stress workwear. I'll tell you a funny story about this. Someone offered me, I was offered money to wear some workwear in my Instagram videos. And anyone that knows me, as he's put, knows I wear Engelbert Strauss all the time. So like, I'm wearing it now, in fact. Hey, a firm offered me quite a bit of money to wear some workwear in videos like that. Anyone that knows me knows I won't. But yeah, Engelbert Strauss workwear is, well, if I'm going to bum Shelley hard, I'll bum them as well. And
no, Engelbert Strauss is nice.
No one goes back. Once you've done Strauss, you never go back.
I've got a pair of trousers up in there.
Best bib and brace going. But yeah, this firm offered me quite a bit of money. I was like, I can't, because anyone that knows me knows I'm a lying bastard.
Right, listen, this is our first one back for a month. I've really enjoyed it, JMO. And we're Electricians Podcast. We're out. Boom.
Don't know why I look at the camera like that.